Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is for Friday, February 5th, 2021. And I'm using the Light Seers Tarot as usual. So 3 cards for the day. The middle one will be the theme. And then also if we can have a spiritual message that comes through, that's always my intention. Something to help us heal our souls and evolve. Okay, so, well, I like having the King of Pentacles for the theme because that has us in that easy place of manifesting and creating a sustainable life, or maintaining a sustainable life, maintaining an abundant life. The King of Pentacles is just the best for structure, for organizing, organizing your future, but based on something you've already organized before. So it's like building upon the abundance, building upon the safety. It's a very reliable type of energy and consciousness. Sometimes when it comes to a person, because sometimes we can look at the court cards as a person, this could be a banker, this could be someone who owns real estate, and maybe even a lot of real estate. It can be somebody who's just really dependable and someone you can really count on. So if it's a person in your life, kudos. That's excellent. If this is an aspect of your consciousness, kudos. It's really, really awesome. Now, if this is something you're working towards, but you're feeling a little, like a little self-doubt, or not as strong as you would like to be, break out of that mindset, because this is victim consciousness. This is where we need to look in the mirror and say, hey, wait a minute, I have everything I need to create my own reality inside of me. And that's the truth. And the universe is bound by spiritual laws to receive us. So wherever we are, at whatever stage we're at in manifesting, if we're not getting what we want, we have to look at what's in the way. What's the obstacle? Now with the Strength card reversed, I think that this is more about self-doubt. I think that, for some of you it'll be self-doubt. For others it'll be, maybe just tired. It could just be that you're tired. Now, if that's the case, you're tired and you have somebody you can hang out with to help take care of you, just make sure you don't take advantage of them and act like the poor me. That would be my only warning with this combo. If it's just that you're in some self-doubt, well, it's okay, because when we have self-doubt, we have to remember that it's one of the biggest hurdles to overcome. It truly is, and especially if you're working on your your divination skills. We have a tendency to doubt ourselves, but I think that that's actually kind of healthy, because it keeps us open instead of saying, oh, I always get the right answer. Well, we're human and we make mistakes. Like, for instance, with this card here, in shuffling, I could have made a mistake and maybe it was meant to be upright. There's that possibility. So let's dive into the upright for a moment. Upright, this is all about being very, very aware of any unconscious tendencies that you've been working through, because it's only through our awareness of all the all the parts of ourselves, especially when we have any false beliefs going on, if there's any like spin that's in your head about the way things are, and you need to kind of like break out of that box. Well, you have to be aware of the false belief first. And then once you're aware of it, then you have true inner strength. And you can create infinite abundance. Let me bring this up closer. See that infinity sign? Yeah, that's real power. To know that you can create anything that you want and you have that strength within you to do it. And you can continue to create over and over and over again. Because that's who you are as a creator. And the universe helps you, to co-create here on Earth. So if it's more about self-doubt, it's okay. Just love yourself through it. Ask yourself, why are you doubting yourself? Why are you doubting your gifts? And especially, like, let's say this is a very strong person, male or female, doesn't matter, but more, like with that strong masculine presence. And they act like they just know everything, and you got to jump on board with me, like that kind of thing. And they cause you to doubt your feelings, where maybe you have something to offer them, this person, where there's some gift that you have to offer, but you're doubting yourself and you're holding back and you're not speaking up because you're in this place of restricting yourself, rejecting yourself, sometimes feeling a little hopeless, definitely feeling powerless. I mean, these two cards go together really well. In fact, the Strength card, because it's the 8, of course, rules all the other 8s. So the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, 8 of Cups, 8 of Swords, and the 8 of Pentacles. The 8s to me are power, or working with power dynamics. Disempowering yourself or empowering yourself, knowing that we're equal, knowing that no one is better than us and we're not better than them. We're all very, very, very unique. And sometimes this card, because it's ruled by Leo, when it's reversed, it can talk a little bit about pride, about, unhealthy pride, where you're kind of afraid of exposing your real feelings and your real self, especially to somebody who seems to have it all together. So you stay small and you keep yourself in a box. That can be how this could play out. But we only do that. It's just it's like an ego trick that we do. We only stay small. We only we're only in shame of exposing our real feelings and our spiritual self if we haven't been encouraged to let that part of ourselves out, or if we're just we're holding on to our pride because we want to seem like we're better than we are, when to open up and just be who you are naturally is, you're going to be received at least 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time, it's okay if you're not, because you have yourself. If you're coming from your real self, that's all that matters. So, sometimes we're kind of like living for this other combo here I'm feeling into is like living for like the sake of what other people think of us and how we appear, like, is way too important. So there can be some kind of a little bit like self-doubt, and so we want to create a good impression and some type of like an appearance, rather than just being our like I said, our real self, just relying on your inner truth, and just letting go of all of that. So if this isn't a person, this could also, because we're in the King of Pentacles realm, we're in that realm of could even be like an organization. Doesn't, you know, an organization doesn't have to come through a major arcana card. Because, you know, this is up there. This is somebody with a lot of abundance, you know, very wealthy, someone who's a good provider. And someone who can, you know, because you see this, you can really focus on goals. But what if you're still trying to figure out what the best goal is for you? What if you're not really sure? Maybe that's what the self-doubt is, and maybe the trick is to, you know, ask your ego to be more flexible with you. Tell your ego, you don't really ask your ego anything because you're the boss. You, from your higher self, can say, hey, we have a plan and we're going to be flexible. And so by doing that, you know, you help your ego to be more receptive. And then you can just let go of the tricks that come in, you know, that try to either make yourself better, appear better than you are, and just not being, you know, completely honest. Sometimes this combo can come in, I believe, when we're in that place of, because this guy's really, you know, well, he's got a nice smile on his face. I don't know if you can see from there. I mean, he's really happy. He's smiling and he's happy. So, but he's happy because he's looking at what he has. And here, from this card, when it's upright, it's all from the heart. You know, the gentleness of the heart. And it's all about the power of love, right? I mean, this reminds me of that old quote, the Jimi Hendrix quote. Let me see. I don't even know if I have it. Do I have it close by? Oh, yeah, here it is. Somebody gave me this years ago, one of my clients. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Power of love overcomes the world of power. That's it right there. So we have to work, you know, daily to get ourselves out of those boxes. And the cool thing that happens when we do that is that we no longer are afraid of having a lot of positive feelings. And that brings in health in the body as well. You know, maybe we had parents who were too focused on the outer you know, accoutrements or, you know, just the outer world and making money and, you know, always doing your homework, being perfect, you know, everything in line. Because that's the energy of this card. And maybe they kind of role model to you that it's not really possible to be happy. And that's not true. You know, that's not true. This is love. This is happiness. This is the power of love and happiness. It's also a very instinctual card. That coming from your instincts to move towards your happiness and not rejecting yourself as, you know, as you're moving towards the happiness. I mean, I remember years ago, I had an experience where I was sitting in a huge group. I mean, there might have been like 50 or 60 people, but I knew them all. And I didn't know each one of them, you know, intimately like a best friend kind of a thing, but I knew them pretty well. And we were all sitting in a circle because we were, you know, about to join a school together, and deeper, you know, working into a deeper level of schooling, of, you know, spiritual schooling. And what happened is that I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I just feel this overwhelming, you know, feeling of love. And we were all, you know, I mean, there was a lot of us, and we were all sharing. You know, we had to just check in and say how we were doing. And when it came to me, I found this place where I was rejecting the love I was feeling for the group because I was afraid of what they would think of me if I just let out with what I was feeling. So, you know, it's the energy's moving around the room and it's getting closer and closer for me to share, but that love was still there. The love and the fear was there, probably just with like equal measure. So when they got to me, I just had to bust out and say, you know what, I really love you guys, and I'm so glad we're here together. I'm over the top elated. And I was so grateful that I did that, because I realized that, after it passed and it was, the challenge had passed, I realized that had I not done it, I would have been rejecting myself. So in that moment, I stopped rejecting myself, and it was a huge lesson for me. So, and I had to believe that the love I was feeling was, whether it was received or not didn't matter. And I don't remember anybody saying, oh, hey, we love you too. I don't think anybody said anything. Because we're all kind of trained to be quiet when other people are sharing. So, but anyway, that's an example of, no longer rejecting yourself. Now, other times it can be doubting that you have the power to stand up and be your own authority and speak for yourself. And that can be the little self-created prison to break out of. I often read this card as, my self-created prison, all my false beliefs. And you have to look in the mirror and unravel, You have to find the false belief within and unravel it within. So sometimes the strength reversed comes in when we've been, suppressing, repressing, pushing down, oppressing, our need to assert ourselves. So whatever it is that you're going for, or whomever it is that you need to speak to come into your own power. And even though you don't really even have to worry about saying it correctly or saying it at the right time, it's just important that you put it out there. And you can, once you're in that, then the strength of your power and your love will come through, and you can organize your reality to create whatever it is that you want, so you're no longer, locked in this little box. Because this little box it's not real. It's honestly not real at all. It's just fear. It's kind of like when we, displace the instinct of self-preservation. We make it too big. It's not a life or death issue, right? And then other times, we can be in just kind of like being a little too suspicious about other people. Like we could look at this guy and go, why does he have all the money? What did he do to, get all that money? And that might be a valid question. It depends on who you're working with. But this card is not reversed. So this is not, a bad individual at all. Yeah, so I think it's more about coming from the power of your strength and your love to create the positive state, the positive reality that you want to live in. And that's what helps us bust out of our boxes. So another way to bust out of the boxes is to, well, first you become aware of it, right? Like you have the self-doubt and the fear, and you're moving towards something that you want. And then you have the courage, because the strength card is all about courage. And then moving forward in organizing and creating that reality. Sometimes we run into obstacles. Well, what you can do is you can write down whatever the obstacle is. If it's a fear or something even that you're wanting to manifest. And write it down and put it in a box on your altar and call it the universal box or the God box or the love box or the manifestation box, or it can be a little tiny trunk, or it can be a jewelry box. It can be whatever container, and you put it in there and stop worrying about it, because this card is often about a lot of worry. So if you're trying to break out of worry, that's one way to do it, is to give it up to the universe. Give it up to God, give it up to your guides, give it up to your guardian angels, or, you know, Buddha, or whoever you work with. Just give it up. Keep working on it, you know, because you do create your own reality. You can't just wish for it and not work on it, work towards it. But you can give up, you know, worrying about it. I think that's the key. And know that the universe will help you. So, okay, well, I think that's all I have today. I'll be back soon. And meanwhile, you guys take good care. Okay, bye.